to the realm of astrology. This is your daily horoscope for April 14th, 2021, which is a Wednesday. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the Moon Neptune sextile. I spoke about this yesterday, and very briefly, a sextile is a very positive angle, and the moon is our emotions, it's our emotional body, it's our heart and soul. And Neptune, what is Neptune? Neptune is the spiritual realm. It's spirituality, it's the higher realm. It's also depression, it's also delusions, it's also illusions. So, what this means are that emotionally and spiritually, we are in sync. Whatever we're feeling emotionally, we feel like, yes, this is from a higher place, this is connected to my calling, this is connected to my spirituality. So that's what is happening at about 5 a.m. Pacific time. So that's the first aspect the moon is making. And let's not forget, very briefly, that the moon is in Taurus and the moon is in a particular sign for 2.5 days. And when it's in a particular sign, the focus of our life shifts to that of this sign. So for the past, till the moon is going to be in Taurus, we are going to be focused on our self-worth, values, how we make money, on our skills, on maybe eating some good food, enjoying a little bit of nature. So that's the energy we're in. The next aspect the moon makes is at about noon. Okay, so I'm going to move the chart up ahead so you guys can see it. The moon is going to semi-sextile Mars. That's a positive 30-degree angle. Okay, and what this means is our emotions, which is the moon, and our drive, our courage, which is Mars, our identity, they're in a positive place. They're working together. And this is a good thing because yesterday, the moon conjuncted Uranus and then it squared Saturn. So emotionally, we could have felt very stressed. But this aspect is making us feel positive. It's making us feel like we can take action. Yesterday, we felt like we may not have felt the best about our values, about our self worth, about our skills. We could have felt a little unhappy about those things or stressed out. But today it's positive. Today your emotions are feeling positive enough to take action to move forward. Okay, so that happens at about noon. And when I mention the time, be mindful of the fact that the energy buildup starts a few hours before. So if I say noon, you could be feeling that energy at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. If I say 5 a.m., you could be feeling it at about 2, 3 a.m. Okay, so that's another thing I wanted to mention. The next thing happens at about 1:30 p.m. The moon is going to square Jupiter. A square is a 90-degree angle and it is considered challenging in astrology. But a challenge represents change, it also represents action. So, what are we called to do with the moon Jupiter square? Okay, there could be some friction between our self worth, our values, our skills, and the new life that we're building. We may feel like this new life that has started for us, which started for us in December of 2020, we may not feel worthy. We may not feel we have the necessary skills to achieve that life, to build that life. We may feel like that, but that's temporary. And this square may propel us to some action. We may say, hey, no, I am good enough. I am good enough. I have the skills. Or it may be that you say, okay, I may need this other skill, so let me learn it. Let me get better. So that's the moon Jupiter square. And usually anything in contact with Jupiter does not feel negative or that challenging, even if it's a square. Okay. So that's the next thing that is happening. And at about 4 p.m. Pacific time, let me pull up the chart. The moon is going to trine Pluto. Okay, a trine is a 120-degree angle and it is a very positive aspect. It facilitates things, it makes things easier. And in this case, what is it making easier? See, if you remember, I spoke about Pluto squaring the new moon on 11th April. A square and is challenging, as I mentioned before. And on the new moon, on 11th April, when Pluto squared the new moon, we were forced to transform. Forced. A square forces you. Pluto forces you. We had to take some action. We had to release something. We had to do something to change, to transform, to regenerate. But now in a trine, whatever action we took, whatever we were forced to do on the new moon on 11th April, that is feeling easy. That is feeling positive. We are saying, yeah, I made that change. I let go of that thing. I regenerated something. I transformed. I didn't want to, but I was forced to. And now I'm feeling good about it. So that's happening today at about 4 p.m. Okay. And at 11 p.m., I'm just going to move through the chart so that you can see it. At 11 p.m., the moon changes signs to the sign of Gemini. Now, it changes signs every 2.5 days, and when it changes from Taurus to Gemini, the energy shifts dramatically. Why? Because Taurus and Gemini are very different energies. Taurus is stable. Taurus is about you. It's about your self-worth. It's about your values. It's about your skills. It's about how you make money. And it's a very slow energy. It's a very stable energy. Okay, because you need to have stability to make money, to for your self-worth, for your values. But what is Gemini? Gemini is an intellectual sign, okay? It's a very playful sign. It's a restless sign. It loves to do things. It loves to learn. It's curious. It wants to know. It wants to do everything at once. It's a very restless energy. That's one side. And every sign has a positive and negative. And the negative of Gemini is it can make you anxious, okay? Or it can be two-faced. Not to say that if you're a Gemini, you're any of those things. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the energy can manifest itself like that. Okay? So, in the next 2.5 days, while the moon is in Gemini, we are going to be focused on our immediate environment, on communication, on perception, on learning things. Okay? And this energy is very playful, very, very playful. So, from a very stable energy, it may feel like a lot of stimulation happening. So that's the last thing I want to talk about where the moon is concerned. Now, I want to talk about the other aspects that are very important. The first thing is that Jupiter and the sun are in sextile. Sextile is a 60-degree positive angle, okay? And when the sun and Jupiter are in sextile, let's talk about Aquarius for a moment, okay? Jupiter is in the sign of Aquarius. Jupiter is at 25 degrees of Aquarius. Now, what is Aquarius? Aquarius is innovation, it's science, it's humanity, it's your individuality, it's also the future, it's your hopes and dreams. And Jupiter being in the sign of Aquarius is magnifying all these areas of your life. It's magnifying your individuality, it's magnifying innovation, science, humanity. Okay, the future, your hopes and dreams. That's what it is magnifying. And the sun is our consciousness. Okay, in a sextile. And the sun is in the sign of Aries, our identity. Okay, so what this sextile means to me is that through our individuality, through that, we will find our identity. Okay, through our individuality. That's how we will build our identity. Through our humanity, through innovation, through thinking differently, through coming into your authentic self, we will find our identity. We will find that in our consciousness. And this is very positive, okay? And the next thing that is happening is, again, Jupiter. Jupiter is, okay. Mars and Jupiter are in a trine, exact trine. And I just told you what Jupiter is. It magnifies things, it's blessings, it's good things. And Mars is our drive, it's our willpower, it's action. And in a trine, there is so much energy. There is so much energy to have courage, to take action, to move towards things, to get things done. Because Jupiter is magnifying the Mars energy. Okay? So this is tremendous courage that you have, tremendous drive, tremendous ability to take action, to move towards your goal, okay, to build the life that started for you in December of 2020. And Sun and Mars are still in a sextile. Mars is supporting our consciousness, it's instilling courage in us. The whole theme of this is that you have the courage to take action. So don't not take action. Take action, make that change, start that thing, whatever it is for you. Okay? And Saturn is still trining the North Node. It's going to trine all month. Saturn is here, North Node is here. Trine is 120 positive degree angle. What is the North Node? Where we are headed towards our goals. And Saturn is a builder. Slowly, it's helping us build our goals. There's a lot of supportive energy. There's a lot of courage. There's a lot of drive for us to take action and move forward. Okay? And today, the Sun is getting ready for its square to Pluto, which is going to happen tomorrow. Squares demand change, they demand action, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow. But just remember, you're in the build-up energy, so it may feel a little stressful, and you may need to transform some things. Okay, yeah. And to sum it all up, it is an extremely positive day. The transformation that we felt on the new moon, which felt a little difficult, is now feeling easy. We're feeling like good that transformation happened, good we made that change. And there is a lot of drive, there's a lot of courage, and there is a lot of Aquarius. Aquarius is our humanity, coming into our own, our individuality, our hopes, our dreams, and the future. And that's all I have to say. And I'm just going to mention one thing. With the Saturn Uranus square that's happening all year, this whole year is about coming into your authentic self. Everything depends on becoming who you are on the inside. You have to become who you are. And the universe is really pushing us, supporting us to come into our own. So don't feel scared. Don't feel scared of who you are on the inside. Let go of who you think you should be and become who you are. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say for April 14th, 2021. Now I'm going to give a little bit of background. I give this in every video. So if you've seen it before, you can put it off now. If you haven't, then do watch. It'll take about 2-3 minutes. And let's get started on the background. The first thing that I want to touch upon is the Chiron Saturn sextile. They've been sextiling for some time. They will sextile all year almost. And the first time the sextile came exact was on Feb 9th. And around then, we started to build something. We started to take a decision that would heal our identity. And we're going to continue this throughout the year. And by the end of the year, whatever decision we started to take, whatever we started to construct or build will become tangible. The next thing is Saturn and Uranus square. This happens extremely rarely. It's not something that happens every year or every 2 years. It's once in many years that this happens. And this energy is going to last with us through the year. They squared exact for the first time on Feb 16th, Feb 17th. They will square once in June and then again by the end of the year. But we're going to be in that energy throughout the year. And what is that energy? Again, it's coming into your authentic self. It's getting rid of the old structures, old thought processes, traditional ways of thinking, and becoming who you are rather than who you think you should be. Okay. And it may not feel easy because the square feels tough. It demands action. It demands change. So it's not something you will have to work towards coming into your own, because that's the most difficult thing, right? Showing the world who you actually are. And the next thing is the Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. Jupiter is here and Saturn is here. They met up at 0 degrees of Aquarius in December of 2020, and they began a 20-year cycle. And we've seen most of what this cycle is about, but not completely. We still have some time to go to see what this cycle is about. And till Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius till 2023, we are going to lay the foundation for the next 20 years. A cycle that will be with us till 2040. Okay? And it happened at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Aquarius is what? Your authentic self, your individual self. It's all about coming into your own. And the next thing that I want to talk about is the Pluto and Saturn conjunction. Saturn is here and Pluto is here. They met up at 22 degrees of Capricorn on Jan 12th, 2020. And they ended a 38-year cycle. They met last time in 1982 and 1984 between then. And they ended that cycle in Jan of 2020. And our material reality shifted completely. We've seen most of what that cycle is about. It has been activated. It got activated Jan of 2021, but we haven't fully stepped into that energy. There's still some time for that. And this energy, this cycle is going to stay with us for the next 35, 38 years, a cycle that has changed our material reality. And the last thing that I want to touch upon is that the nodes are in the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius. Gemini 11 degrees, Sagittarius 11 degrees. They were at the same spot between 2001 and 2003. So whatever you started back then, whatever themes came into your life, you are taking one step forward in either resolving those issues, building on them. Okay, so similar things may come into your life, or similar themes may come into your life for you to close, or for you to build on, or for you to review. And this has been the case since May of 2020. And that's all I leave you with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do leave your comments and tell me what you think so that I can improve these videos and maybe give you what you want to hear. So I leave you with that and have a great day. Bye.